I have a clip I want you to watch. I want you to listen to it. I'm listening to a book called Jesus and John Wayne, and it's about the history of evangelicals. So listen to this clip. It is kind of structural in how the evangelicals came to be and how they have impacted life in everybody's world even today. All right, so listen to this clip.
In wholesale submission to the authorities placed over them. For both Gothard and Rushdoony, this order found expression in the authoritarian rule of men. Men who forsook their duty to impose order abdicated their masculinity, allowing women to usurp their power. And Rushdoony eagerly awaited the day when, once independent and feministic women, would be humbled and seek the protection and safety of a man. To help families navigate conflicts, Gothard offered extensive and inflexible rules. Dating was forbidden, and instead, courtship was arranged and supervised by fathers. Girls were ordered to avoid eye traps, anything that would draw attention to their bodies, such as necklines that dropped lower than the collarbone and skirts that fell above the ankle. Domesticity was upheld as women's highest calling, and higher education for girls was discouraged. When family conflicts proved irresolvable, IBLP offered to institutionalize children until their attitudes and behaviors were rectified. In submission to Gothard's authority, parents entrusted their problem children to IBLP institutions, sometimes for months at a time. The draconian measures of surveillance and discipline Gothard introduced at IBLP, the closed system of authority, and the enforced submission of women and children created a climate ripe for abuse. In 1980, news broke that Gothard's brother and vice president of the Institute.
Okay, so I took some notes. The two men that audio clip is talking about is called R.J. Rushdoony and Bill Gothard. Now, these men basically believe that authority and patriarchal power go hand in hand, and it's supposed to be masculine authority and patriarchal power. So I took some notes. Rushdoony was seriously all about the Bible. Biblical law basically should have been what replaced the Constitution. We were supposed to just be following the Bible. Any notions of equality were dangerous and wrong. So obviously, feminism was out because men were in charge. Civil rights, definitely not something that he particularly liked. He said that the Civil War was not a battle over slavery, but rather a religious war, and the South was defending Christian civilization. He also said that slavery had been voluntary and beneficial to slaves. So if you hear some people still rattling off that whole, slavery was good for black people, it's rooted in evangelical teachings. So this man, Rushdoony, obviously, since he opposed equality, he opposed interracial marriage because black people were not equal. He looked unfavorably to the education of women. And obviously, since he didn't believe in feminism, he didn't believe that women should be voting. And he actually did not believe that women should even be speaking in public. Freedom came in proper submission to authority. And how it goes, your household is, the family, and the family is led by a proper masculine authority. So the dad, and the children should be obviously obedient to the parents, but the mom is obviously deferring to the man. And in church, leaders wielded absolute authority over members. And in government, leaders should should be supported without a doubt by the people that they're ruling over. Now, an issue that they had: public schools. Public schools could usurp the parents' authority. That's the reason why a lot of these people homeschooled. Now, I am a homeschooling parent, but it's not because I think in this ideological way. So, what else should I tell you about these people? Now, this is the reason why I bring this up is because Rushdoony and Gothard. Oh, something. Let me tell you about Gothard. Those in authority were stand-ins for God. Those in authority were stand-ins for God and were owed absolute obedience. Personal rights interfered with the hierarchical structure of authority, contradicting God's design and provoking anger and resentment. So when we hear people consistently talking about submission and how they hate feminism, and now they're disparaging woke culture, all of it is rooted in the exact same thing. These teachings have been solidified. They were planted and they've been solidified, and gender norms and traditional roles are so ingrained that we don't even know what, even people that are not evangelical, even people that are secular or practice another religion, still have this basis, still look at feminism and women's equality and children having some rights. They look down on that. So all of this is evangelical teaching and rooting of a religion that is built on inequality, racism, and sexism. Y'all jump in the comments and tell me what you think.